when we look at your credit, there's a couple factors. The first thing I want to say, this is so different than other loans. There's so many aspects. When I talk to loan people in the loan business, when I tell them about this, they always assume I'm talking about the USDA guaranteed loan. That's a really good loan too, but that's really designed for a little bit higher income. This loan is only from the USDA. That's why it's called the direct loan. So if you talk to a mortgage person out there and they tell you, I can get you a USDA loan, first of all, it's not the same loan. Only nonprofits like us, or if you go directly to USDA, can you get this loan. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. This is the USDA direct loan. So what they look at is there's a few factors. It's a government loan. You're getting the loan directly from the government. You make your home payments directly to the USDA. So first thing that they look at, there's a list they run your name on. They make sure you do not owe the government any money. So, you can owe them money, but you cannot be delinquent on the money that you owe them. You have to have been paying any minimum payments that you have. And there's a few ways that I'll give some examples. If you have student loans through the feds, that would be a debt that you need to be current on. Now, everybody should be current on that. We've had deferrals now for a couple of years. So if you're not there, you don't need to be there. Just, it's almost over though. So you got to stay current. Second thing is if you have not paid your taxes, and you owe money to them, you got to get your taxes paid as well. They're not going to lend you money unless you are current on all of your obligations with the government. So that's one of the things that is kind of a no-stopper, really. And I wouldn't say showstopper, but it really, you got to get it straight before you can get the loan. The second thing is if you have filed bankruptcy recently, you do have to wait at least 3 years from the time it was discharged. So that's just a matter of waiting. So that those are kind of the biggest factors that really are not so much in your control as some of the other factors that I'll talk about now. So the other factors they look at is they do look at the last 2 years of your history, but they look at you as more than a credit score. So one thing I want to mention is your credit score is not known as what's called a declining factor. So most lenders, when you go, they look at your credit score, and if your credit score is not that number, they don't care what's on your credit report. It's just like, hey, sorry, can't help you. It's not the case with this loan. This loan allows us to look at you as a person, not as a number. So what we can do is they do want to see the last 12 months and the last 2 years, relatively the history of paying bills on time, right? But they understand that things do happen, that life happens, especially, with COVID and everything that's went on. Many people's income took a drastic drop. Other people's income, believe it or not, actually went up. It depends on, everybody's situation is different, and the type of work you did and things like that. But so what we do is when we look at it, if you don't have that 12 months of all on-time payments, we just need to basically be able to explain to the USDA, look, I had a situation in my life that was out of my control that I just couldn't help it. So if you got sick and you had to stop working for a while, if you got, grandma got sick and you had to go take care of her, if we can make it make sense to the USDA, and then overall you have a history of, positive payments, in particular the last 12 months, that's the most important thing, the last 12 months, then we can generally make a case to where they'll give you the loan if all the other factors add up, that debt-to-income ratio, for example, that we talked about earlier. So that's what's really cool about this loan. Again, they look at you as a person, not as a number. And if we can make it make sense, they're good to go. The USDA, we're really blessed in Virginia. I honestly, I really, I think I got my finger on the pulse pretty good. And I think we might have the best, USDA staff in the state. We'll actually be on the radio with Jeannie Barbaro, who is the head of single family housing, this Monday. And one thing she likes to say on there all the time is we look for a way to say yes, not no. So I love it. Their philosophy and my personal philosophy on affordable housing, their staff, they just seem to align so well. So I really love it. We got a good good thing going here, and I just want more people to know about it because so many people could take advantage of this. So again, the last 12 months is the most important thing. But again, if you have issues, it doesn't mean you're going to be declined. It just means that, we just need to work on a few things. Again, if you have not watched my credit one Friday that, we do every Friday, we release a small video on, different aspects of buying a home. Check that out. I give you lots of good tips on how to get your credit ready to buy a home, whether you go with us or someone else. So again, the last 12 months, most important thing. The other things that are important to understand is you do have to be, eligible for a loan. You have to be here legally in the States, a citizen, or here, legal resident, everything like that. That's part of it as well. There is no age limit, or you do have to be 18. You have to be old. You have to be of legal age to go under a contract. But that's the thing. So. It doesn't matter if you're 72, it doesn't matter if you're 82, it doesn't matter if you're 18. If you have stable, dependable income and a history of you're paying your bills on time, you can get qualified for this loan. It doesn't matter, any of those things. That's how every loan really is. But, again, this loan has all factors that allow it so many people can get qualified who couldn't at a commercial lender. So that's the loan kind of in a nutshell.